Hello, good evening. Thank God it's Friday. I'm so excited. I am so excited. Have we invited others? Let's invite others to be here. Let's invite others to be here. Okay, let's invite our friends, starting with those that are on this challenge already. Let's invite everyone to be here this evening so we can discuss the major challenges faced by our children. What are the biggest challenges our children are faced with? What are their fears? If you are here, say hello. Say hello, I'm here. Say hello, hello, hello. Is anyone here at all? Okay. Thank you, sir. You're welcome. You're welcome. So let's start already. Okay, this is day 8. What are the biggest challenges our children are faced with? What are the biggest challenges our children are faced with? Funny enough, quite a number of parents might not really know that their children actually face diverse challenges. Quite a number of parents are not aware. Instead, many parents focus too much on their children's behavior, they focus on their children's academic performances. So, as a result of this, most parents don't understand that their children actually have very, very deep concern. I have had scenarios where a father, not based in Nigeria, actually told me that the son, who is just 10, sent a message to him that he is depressed. I can imagine how that feels. He was practically troubled. And that's to show you that our children have challenges. Our children have their fears. They actually have things that makes them feel afraid. And of course, some of them don't, it's not like they don't want to be responsible. It's not like they don't know that being responsible is important. It's just that they behave responsibly when they feel that their parents understand them. So when we ask our children these questions, it helps us to get a better sense of their fears and their concerns, their aspirations. Are we together? Are we feeling this particular topic at all? So being a child is not practically as easy as we thought. Our children face different challenges every day. In fact, our children can be troubled by problems as well. So it's not just a mother or a father, whoever it is that is taking care of a child, that is facing one challenge or the other. And of course, the challenges of parents, some of them are obvious. We're looking for money, money to feed. We're concerned about our spiritual well-being of our children, our financial well-being. You see people praying to God to meet them at their pocket needs, at their point of need for financial needs. Some adults need their breakthrough in their business. So many things. And in all of this, we are so engrossed, and that actually makes us not to know that children can be troubled by problems as well, and particularly the 21st century child. They are confronted with so many challenges, and some of these challenges can actually impact on their mental, emotional, even their physical well-being. So these challenges and difficulties can actually be as a result of so many factors. Please, have we reminded those in the group to join this conversation? Let's be our brother's keeper right now. Let's drop a message for them on the group so that everyone can be part of this challenge. I really think it's important that we join this live session. It helps us to easily navigate some of these challenges, especially when we have some very deep concerns, like topics that buttress on the well-being of a child, and that is one of the topics that we're going to be addressing this evening. I know quite a number of parents must have asked their children this question, and even if you have not asked the question, it's important to know the reason why you need to ask your child this question, so that you'll be able to help your child navigate this journey of life. I was saying that there are so many factors that are responsible for some of the challenges that children face. Some could be environmental, especially for those that travel out of the country. A child find himself or herself in a particular location that they are not majorly used to, or they find themselves in the midst of people that speak different languages. They find themselves in the midst of people that different color, different race. It can actually impact on the child, even for those of us that are local, that are present in the country, in Nigeria or in whichever country that our children are born in. Children are dynamic, so the way they handle challenges are also different. Some of these challenges could be cultural based, it could be based on the culture of the particular location where you are. Maybe even those that the mother is a Yoruba married to an Igbo, some of these children could actually face cultural challenges if care is not taken. Even the socioeconomic status of the parents or the caregivers can also impact on the well-being of the child, and that is the reason why this kind of discussion is very, very sacrosanct. It's important that we talk about it. It's important that we discuss it with the child. And of course, some issues may actually vary. Some common challenges can even be like bullying, academic distraction, mental health concerns. It could be screen time, excessive screen time. It could be malnutrition, and all of those things would actually be a challenge that a child is having. The child might not even be able to put a name to the exact thing that is making them feel concerned, making them feel agitated, and all of that. But our clear understanding of these things typically helps us to be able to help them navigate some of these challenges. And for those of us that are living in developing countries, because our country currently is not a developed country, access to quality education could be a concern for some children. You know, they might be having issues even concentrating in class, focusing in class, being some of our class teachers don't understand the learning style of a child. Some children are visual learners, some children are kinesthetic learners, some children are auditory learners. Even the teachers themselves, they might not have a good grasp of all of this. And if they do, the environment that the school has created also has a way of impacting on each of the child. So one of the things that I mentioned earlier is bullying. you know, Bullying is a prevalent issue. It happens in schools, it happens in churches, it even happens in the home front. And it can take a toll on the self esteem and the mental well being of our children. And that is the reason why you see why I said Nigeria is a developing country right now. They just decided to take power. So that is that is the situation that we have found ourselves. But of course, we move. You know, Academic distractions, stemming from peer relationship and technological use, can even affect the educational progress of some children. So it's important for us to understand and know what are the key things that affect our children. When we do that, it will help us to be able to know how to help them. I mentioned earlier that excessive screen time, this is one of the challenges that my children particularly mention, that the media plan that we have, the timing that it takes to for them to watch screen, for them to look at screen. As much as technology is a valuable tool, excessive screen time, particularly on social media, when you are doing things that are not really, really beneficial, can lead to addiction. It can disrupt sleep patterns. It can hinder the development of some crucial social skills. So it's important for parents to know where to draw the line so that the child doesn't eventually see it as a challenge. Yes, we have also mentioned that peer pressure could be another challenge that children are faced with. You know, Children like preteens, teenagers, their social and emotional development is majorly influenced by their peers. Major, major, major. And their impact grows throughout adolescence. I'm sure for those of us that have preteens and those that have teenagers, you would have already seen that the impact of peer pressure can actually go throughout adolescence, and it begins at a very young age. So as children get older, as they become more independent, it's normal and it's crucial for them to have friends. I keep emphasizing, sometimes when I ask my children who are their friends, they will tell me that they, sorry about that. Okay, so I was saying that it is crucial for children to have friends, particularly preteens and teenagers. It's even normal and it's healthy for them to have friends. But of course, they must have friends that are able to align with their values, their personal values, their family values, so that there is no interferences in terms of a child's behavior. So, not knowing the footsteps of their friends may make them feel unwanted, and sometimes they may have fear of missing out at times, and that can actually lead to another incidence of um, challenge for our children. Another key thing is malnutrition. See, malnutrition does not only weaken a child physically, it even imposes a lot of risk on their cognition, that's on their brain development. And that is the reason why it is totally not advisable to allow our children to be malnourished. It limits their cognitive development, and it can have a lot of consequence on the overall brain development of the child. And of course, one of the main causes of malnutrition is poor quality food that is being given to a child, consumption of poor quality food. So some children become malnourished, due to lack of quality food. Yes, they might be eating food that are high in calories, high in macronutrients, and very low in micronutrients. That is one of the reasons why we say poor quality, because the quality of micronutrient that a child is opportune to have also has an impact on their brain development. So when children are not getting good food, they will not be able to get quality nutrients being absorbed into their body. And of course, their eating habits is also going to be impacted. And that can even lead to mental health issues for a child. Some children can be traumatized from that. So a child's ability to absorb vital nutrients can also be caused by a lot of issues. There could be digestive issues, there could be different illness, infection, and all of that. So that can impact on the rate of um, development of a child, eventually leading to problems for the child. Are we still here? Is anybody still here with me? I need to I need to confirm we are still here with me. Okay, I'm here to see a response. Is anybody still here? Don't worry, we'll soon be done. This activity is meant to be done with our children. I'm only giving us an insight into what this activity is all about. Okay, thank you. I can see that you are still here and you can hear me. Thank you. Another challenge that some children have is when we as parents begin to choke them for high grades. We just finished an end of term, end of session, and quite a number of schools had award ceremonies, prize giving day, valedictory service that was conducted for children, end of session, outgoing student, and all of that. So when we see, I particularly have somebody that said, no, I'm not going to take this for my child. You did not even see any award to collect, even in Yoruba, even in language, even in music, and academics excellence is something that we value. We place a lot of value on academics excellence in our society. So we expect all our children to do well naturally in school. And it actually leads to a downward spiral of parental pressure. Most times it is the parents that are pressured. And of course, when parents are pressured because of academic performance, academic excellence, they will push their children to the limits in an effort thinking that when they do that, it will help their children improve on their grades and to get a better future, because we always believe that if you do not go to school, if you do not have your A's flying, you cannot amount to anything in life. I can tell you that is not totally true. As much as there's an outer of truth in that, it is not totally true, because the purpose by which God has created every child is not only dependent on their academic performance. Academic excellence, academic performance is just a part of the purpose of God for our life. Yes, that we shall be the head and we shall not be the tail. We shall be above only and never beneath. And we shall have knowledge more than our teachers. Yes, that is the design of God for our life. But of course, there are so many more things that God has also destined for our children. So even if they don't have all the A's in school, even if they don't make all the grades, it doesn't mean that they cannot amount to anything in life. So, as much as all our children, or even we as adults, did not all go in the same direction, we have had people, medical doctors, who eventually became fashion designers, who eventually became hairdressers. Yes, they might put a touch of excellence, a uniqueness to whatever it is they do. But obviously, it's just to show you that there are so many ways by which we can actually amount to what God has destined us. So if we put too much pressure on our children, they will be under a lot of mental strain, because the entire affair will be made out of, like, there will be a big deal in it. There will be too much pressure, like, so why would somebody have all A's and you are not getting anyone, we'll see other parents who their children are getting all the A's, and then will be destabilized as a parent. If we put out this on our children, it can make them feel suffocated, it can make them look like they are incompetent. So we need to help them to avoid that happening to them. Are we still here? Are we okay? Okay, are we still here? We are almost done right now. And experts have actually recommended is a parenting expert, co-founder of Little Ellie, says to address some of these pressing challenges that our children have, there is need for a collaborative and a more approach. There is a lot of it. So it's not just parents, even the educators, the society as a whole must work in unison. We must all work together to ensure the well-being of our children. I have mentioned the part of the teacher, the part of the school, the part of the society. So each one is expected to create policies that can help to ensure the mental and the overall well-being of our children. Just like providing access to high quality education, there is need for the schools to ensure that they meet up to the standards when it comes to the education, even fostering a safe and nurturing environment. So the quality of environment that a child is growing in also determines how pressured or how challenged or the kind of fears that such a child will be having. And of course, we need to make their mental health to be and like a seamless one for them. They need to have access to good mental health. However, amongst all of these factors, parents play a pivotal role in recognizing and responding to behavioral and psychological shifts in their children. Parents play a major role in helping their children navigate through all these challenges. We need to encourage our children to pursue their interests. We need to encourage them to engage in outdoor activities, which can actually be like an effective means of balancing screen time and also promoting a holistic well-being of a child. Yes, it's not like the child will not have any screen time at all, but will be able to balance screen time with every other activity that a child is able to perform. So when we address and create a more supportive and nurturing environment for our upcoming generation to enable them to thrive and develop to their fullest potential. Are we still here? Are we still here? Are we still here? So, what are the challenges that we are working on with our children? What are the challenges that we are working on? Can we list any of them? Can we list any of them? Is anybody here that can help us list any of them? Some children even feel isolated sometimes. So many things can actually make a child to be challenged. You know, they have a lot of things that they are dealing with at the same time. So we need to be there for them. We need to help them to navigate through their problems. And of course, we can only do that when we understand what those challenges are. And that is why we're connecting with our children these 15 days to be able to understand with them. Don't say it's just a child, it might not have any challenge. You can be rest assured that they have some challenges that they don't even know how to navigate. But of course, when we have created an open arm, then we are showing to them that we can help them. Yes, you said I'm working on my children's emotional, spiritual, and physical challenge. Thank you. Good to know. I believe that's what each and every one of us is also working on. And on this note today, I would like to say very big thank you to everyone for joining our session tonight. This is day 8. Are you excited? I am excited because, of course, we are connecting better with our children. We are getting to know ways by which we can help our children to navigate some of the major challenges that they have faced with. Oh, yes, so we'll see again tomorrow. And I believe that by tomorrow, we'll be able to have more time together. Have a beautiful evening a great weekend. Thank you. Bye bye.